Hello and welcome to our special presentation today on CHAPPEL'S CHAMPS Goes Ballistic. My name is Steve Chappell, the Director of Trading Systems Development here at VectorVest, and we are going to debut a brand new trading system to all of our viewers tonight. Listen, this was first put on stage though in January of this year with our Tampa Two-Day Seminar and live stream. And as promised, if the trading system continued to perform, we were going to put it into the viewer, and here she goes. So Glenn Tompkins did a great job of reintroducing everyone to the trading system viewer, illustrating the performance of that tool last week. And we're going to build upon that with a new trading system making its debut. So let's get right into VectorVest and take a peek. All right, so here we are at the home page. I'm going to shoot over right up to the top here and go to the Viewers tab. And so from there, over on the left, or depending on how you go, if you land on Home, there will be a Trading System Viewer button that you can click. So either on the directory on the left or the big Viewer button in the middle of the screen on the Home for viewers, it'll take you to this page here. And if we come to the very top here by the 1 year percentage analysis, you will find the trading system right at the top of the viewer. And so we're going to cover this trading system in pretty good detail for you since I put it together. It starts right here with just the numbers and things that we can learn right from the viewer itself. So those that have been around VectorVest for a good amount of time might already know that this is going to be a long and short portfolio. So there are going to be times where you're fully long the stock market and times where you are fully short the stock market to take advantage of market corrections. So CHAPPEL'S CHAMPS is going to be the search that we look to buy stocks long from on confirmed green lights in VectorVest from the daily color guard. And we then would close down that campaign and go short with ballistic new highs on a confirmed down. We have classified this as prudent, and as just mentioned, we are illustrating the green light buyer RT kicker timing model. So we go long on confirmed green lights, the ones with the stars on your color guard. We launch with 10 stocks on the very first one after a confirmed down. We'll show you this on the chart here in a minute. We only replace stocks the day following a confirmed green light if we sell something. So there can be times where you're not fully into the 10 stocks all of the time. But we shut down the entire campaign, close whatever's left in there on a confirmed down call, go short with 10 ballistic new highs, and manage those, replacing all along the way until the next confirmed green light is signaled. And then it's just back to the other side of the circle there. So you start buying from CHAPPEL'S CHAMPS. We can see the 1 month, 3 month, 1 year performances. This is a system that does continue to perform quite consistently well. So we're up about 7% over the last month, 14.5% or so over the last 3 months, and a little over 100% right now on the 1 year time frame. We look at the spark chart, you can already see it's very consistent. Not a lot of drawdown, particularly here as of late. So when we look at the last 1 year period, your drawdown is running just shy of 13% from peak to trough, which is pretty impressive given the amounts of return that you're seeing here with an annualized percentage of 166% a year. And so our year-to-date performance is in fact that 14.6%, but that's all the metrics you see here. Now, what you can do to learn more, as you hopefully already know, is come right up here to Trading System Details. When you do that, we'll get a little bit more knowledge. Of course, nice little summary paragraph here at the top, really detailing all the things I just covered in prior speech in this presentation. There's trading system rules that we'll come back to here in a moment. You get a look at the full equity curve dating all the way back to the first confirmed green light of 2019, January 7th, all the way to the current time. And here again, you can see it's quite consistent. It makes money first year, second year, third year, off to a good start, fourth year. We come to the bottom. Here you have your 1 month, your 3 month, now a 6 month at 26%. Year to date, still 14.6. 1 year, still 100% there. 3 year though, 464%, and all time, 539%. So certainly delivering on the over 500% in your special presentation blurb in the views this evening. If we look at the maximum drawdown ever in the portfolio, it is at still a respectable 23%. I say respectable simply because of the amount of gain. Anytime you're going to be producing 500% returns in 3.25 years, there's going to be some drawdown typically along the way. But as you can see, quite manageable, from that graph we were looking at earlier. So if we look at the compounded rate of return, a nice 77, decent Sharpe ratio. You look at the total trades, 277 trades. I say 277 only really when you're talking about 3.25 years. Not too shabby. There's not been a ton of trading to get there either, which is really, really nice. Winning trade percentage overall, this is both long and short, 56.3%. So that's also a very, very high watermark for such a length of time. You come down to the current holdings. We have been buying on confirmed green lights since February. So remember, we had the confirmed down call issued in the middle of November of last year. And our first confirmed green light showed up on 2/10/2022, which is where a bulk of the trading, we would have bought 10 stocks on that date. You can see we have replaced a couple so far along the way, and these new runners are doing pretty well. We bought Antero Resources on 3/23 and had sold another one and bought CNQ on 3/29. So just this week, really. And pretty good numbers across the board in here. Of course, energy's certainly been the focus, and we have been in an energy boom, and energy is still quite strong, although weakening maybe just a little bit in terms of where the gains in the energy space have been over the prior, say, 6-9 months or so. But when we look at it, winners all across the board. So good news there. I do want to illustrate, we talked about how we've started on 210 on this most recent campaign, picked up a couple along the way. So let's go over into the VectorVest timing area. So we'll go to the timing tab, from there, market timing graph. And right here, what we'll do at the bottom is throw on the GLB RT Kicker timing model. And you can see that after the confirmed down was issued, the very first green light came in right here. And so this is where we started buying, picked up 10 shares. We sold a couple since and bought some more on this most recent green. And of course, I think one of the two prior. Okay, so that's where all of the buying is being issued. Now, the nice thing about this, and I want to make quick mention of it, is you can see the preponderance of these confirmed green lights are going to be when markets are low and continuing to rise. You start to see more sporadic green lights as markets get to the actual highs. And of course, that's a benefit of the system. So we're going to be buying hot and heavy and turning stocks over quite often near market bottoms. And we're going to be, kind of pulling back by way of the nature of this timing model as you get closer to the peaks, certainly in terms of the amount of times you're going to be replenishing if you sell something. So again, there can be times where you're not carrying the full 10 positions. And I want to make that clear. If we get to the confirmed down, that's where you switch. You switch gears and you go away from buying. You close down your entire long campaign and you go short a strategy called Ballistic New Highs. Okay, so 10 positions there, and then you manage that all the way until the first confirmed green light is issued, and that's where you make your transition again. And then you just rinse and repeat that process. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. If we get back over into the system here, and we come up to the top, you'll have the trading system rules defined, and there are a couple of things to pay attention to. Of course, this is already pre-programmed for you, but I'll just walk you through maybe some of the high points here. First thing is, we are going to be buying along with CHAPPELL'S CHAMPS. We are going to be using a Profit Locker Pro ATR stop. So there is going to be a 14-day trial link where you can try Profit Locker Pro for free included, because you would need Profit Locker Pro to be able to replicate and follow these results in the future. Okay. When we look at the rest of it, we are doing 10 stock baskets, both long and short. We are automatically replacing positions. This is really a key setting here. It says when entering this situation, close any open position that was opened in a different situation. So that's a good setting when you have something like green light buyer or green light buyer kick, or RT kicker or anything like that, where you get multiple up signals during an up campaign. You don't want to close down your longs that are making money. So what this says is you're only closing short positions on that first green light, essentially. Okay. So you don't do that on this side. What you want to do is just close any position that's in there and go short. And that's really the main difference between the two sides, is those two settings there. But now hopefully you understand why, the different terminology if you were going to get in here and begin to study this on your own. All right, on neutrals, those are times where you don't have a blinking gold star on a green light. So just an ordinary green light or a yellow light in the price column of the color guard. And you are not taking any action. You're just, if you sell something, you're not replenishing, you're not replacing any stocks under those conditions. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get out of here and we'll get back over to the timing graph. Some may wonder what's the difference between a kicker green and I don't want to say ordinary green, but an otherwise just green light in the price column of the color guard. If you come over here to the right, instead of using just the hot button below for the timing signal calls, if you come over here to the right, you can put on GLB RT kicker layout. And it's going to add these two moving averages to the bottom. Those are moving averages of relative timing. They're set to 10 and 15. So the green one is 10, the white one in my case is 15. And it's only going to confirm a green light when the 10 is over the 15. Okay, so that's the difference there. So you can certainly have green lights that aren't confirmed, and they're usually earlier on in the phase of an uptrend. But once there's enough trend there for those moving averages to turn bullish, then you will get the confirmation. Okay, so hopefully that clears all that up. Now, all of that being said, next thing to do, I think can be quite interesting, is to come right into the viewers tab again, right back to the system. And along with looking at the details, you can also paper trade it for a while to build some confidence in it, just kind of see how it goes, see if it's going to be something that fits you as an individual. You can also trade it right out of the gate with RoboTrader, whichever you feel more comfortable with. For those that don't have RoboTrader, even if you put it into a portfolio, it'll still send you all of the alerts for the trading system if you have the alerts turned on. So let's talk a little bit about that. I'm going to click on paper trade and portfolios. Now, the first choice is, do I want to start with an empty portfolio? I would need a green light with confirmation at the end of the day to buy stocks the following morning. Or do I just want to follow the system intact, the mature system the way it is? That's traditionally the way that I like to go, unless for some reason, maybe we are at an inflection point where I want to wait for the next series of green lights to begin. What I'm going to do here, though, since this system goes both long and short, really what you want to do, I think, is just follow the current system and let it dictate the action. So I'm going to open that portfolio now, and that'll bring over what you've seen from the viewer and put it in motion in your portfolios in VectorVest. Then you can watch it from here on and even follow it, if you wish. So here are the stocks that are in there right now: Alcoa, Antero Resources, Canadian. You can see all the percentages. They should match up very closely at time of import anyway to what you saw in the trading system details. Okay, all winners. Biggest winner 28, weakest winner 3 so far on current campaign. Again, you can see all the purchase dates. Everything is in here. What can be nice is a couple things. One, you can come up here to the top, go to reports, and you can look at even more reporting on this. So I could do things like view the trade history. And when we look at this and come in, I can start either by calendar, or I can do something like click on percentage gains. I can see what some of the big winners would look like, say SunPower and Tesla as quick examples there. Also IDT, boy, pretty healthy gains all the way through Bion, 50% or more. You come to the bottom of the list, looks like we had a few stocks that went against us pretty good. We are using rather loose stops, in this scenario. We will talk about that a little bit. So, we want to make sure we're picking high quality stocks when we're buying them long, because the better job that we do it with that, the more advantage that looser stop is going to carry for us. The nice thing is the CHAPPELL'S CHAMPS search is super high quality stock. So we'll talk a little bit about that. and then proceed from here. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to go over to Unisearch here real quickly, and in there, in Search is Prudent, in that folder is going to be CHAPPELL'S CHAMPS. This is a search I put together, I don't know, more than 15 years ago anyway, certainly. It's been in the system an awfully long time, and it's been awfully consistent. If we look at it, the stocks have to be at least in the top 100 by VST. They have to have reasonably good average volume, so some liquidity, and certainly with the price, plenty of liquidity for most. At least $10 minimum price on the stocks. Then just some derby ready things. If I run it, what really makes this thing click is the sort, and it's a good one. It's looking at emphasizing the VST score along with the CI, which is price growth persistence, along with the earnings growth rate. So you tend to get, at least in many cases, some nicely undervalued stocks with nicely high growth rate to go with that. And in the current kind of market environment we're in, that's a couple of really nice attributes to have. Along with that, it's good attributes to have all the time, and this CI component makes it even more valuable because you get persistent upward chart patterns to go with that undervalued high growth stock. So, if we just look at the current situation, let me bring this up to current time, and let's just start back on that first confirmed green light in February. If I come over here to the right, I can put the GLB RT kicker on there. Oops, there it goes. And we would have bought stocks the following day off of the 9th. So we run the search. There's your Zim integrated, Alcoa, Synovus, Devon, Diamondback, Aramco, and so on. So it looks like we probably sold Ramco, possibly even Matador there. But anyway, let's just quickly do a quick test just to show you, this is where the performance is coming from, okay? All right, now when we look at some graphs of these stocks, all right, let's see here, and we go back and match up the dates here. So we'll start with a date line. All right, looks like we picked up Zim on this day here. Had some good run in it. It's pulled back a little bit. This was Alcoa. This was Synovus, Devon, Fang, and so on that are found on the list there. Okay. The other thing I would say is we're also using that Ballistic New Highs search. This is interesting, I think, for some to see, to know what you're messing with. So Ballistic New Highs short. If I come back here to the prior confirmed down and run it, these are the kind of stocks that you'd be dealing with there. And they're going to be high flyers. So you're going to have Longeveron, awfully good short on that one. Avis, that sucker went on a tremendous run, didn't it? And so it's basically, it's shorting the cream off the top of stocks that just went too ballistic, hence the name, Ballistic New Highs short. So when we look at a few of the charts, I mean, look at that sucker. Did that thing go ballistic? Ballistic New High, and then short the back of it. Ballistic New High, short the back of it. Ballistic New High, short the back of it. Ballistic New High, short the back of it, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's what this system is designed to do. It's designed to buy really high quality, persistently rising stocks that also have high growth in up markets, and shorting the stocks that went way overboard to the upside when a confirmed down call is received. And so it's a very, very well, it really is sort of the essence of VectorVest in terms of buying your safe undervalued stocks rising in price in up markets and taking advantage of dramatically overbought situations and playing them to the downside in down markets. And so hopefully that sheds a lot of light on what I think is a very, very clever strategy here in VectorVest. May not be new earth-shattering breaking ground, but as you can see from the performance, well worth putting into the viewer for you to have at your disposal. And I know it requires Profit Locker Pro. We have an awful lot of people who purchase Profit Locker Pro that need support, and so this is going to be a welcome site for all of those folks. And quite honestly, for others, some further interest into this new product. Because when we look at portfolios here, one quick more time, if we look at this Profit Locker Pro graphing button here, when you have Profit Locker Pro, this is available. You can see that it's a nice ratcheting stop loss that moves higher as the underlying stock prices move higher, but at the same time giving them room to breathe. And so, a lot of these stocks have had really significant moves that have been pretty choppy based upon strategic moves by different entities around the globe. But, this has been a good situation. Okay. And it has proved out with these kind of stocks over the last 3.25 years to really be a good answer to give the stocks enough room, these high quality stocks, enough room to mature and really go on to some exciting performances in the future. Okay. The detriment to that is you're giving some room on some of the lesser quality stocks that can go against you, as you saw a good bit from time to time as well. But the winners far outpace the losers, and you have more winners than losers to begin with. And so that's how this trading system really clicks. All right, over here on the right, you can see a little bit about how we're using Swing Trade Tight. So it's one of the 9 ATR templates. There are others to choose from. We're using the most tight setting from a swing trading basis, and your average holding period tends to be about 4 months on those positions. So that's where the looseness of the stop loss comes in. It is using 5 ATR below the current price, and you're shooting for 35 ATR in the future. So you're shooting for some big moves on these high quality stocks and giving them plenty of room. Okay, so hopefully that's a full walkthrough. Don't want to get too far down into the weeds, because at the end of the day, the complete system is in there. And to really test drive it and give it a go, you do need Profit Locker Pro. I will work on a different set of settings. The results won't be quite as good, and I might be able to debut one for people that don't have Profit Locker Pro or aren't interested in trying Profit Locker Pro in the future. But until then, this is one definitely worth a look. All right, so with all of that, so I'll just close up by saying, to start a trial of VectorVest Profit Locker Pro, all you need to do is go to www.vectorvest.com/profit. There should also be a link right in the views in the strategy section to get you there. Until next time, thanks for taking advantage of this special presentation, and we'll see you again here in the near future, I'm sure. See you then.